Kirk, the house geek here with Mastermind, the market, your real estate stats update for the Twin Cities area. Yeah, buyers, you're going to want to pay attention to this. Sellers, though, don't drop off. There's some good information for you, too. All right, first I want to mention we are going to have a dual class coming up. So it's going to be one class for sellers and then followed by a little break and then a class for buyers. If you're interested, you don't have to attend both, but we're going to have them back to back. Right now, we're looking at some point in July and probably the Arlington Rec Center there in St. Paul. So keep an eye out for that. All right, let's jump into the data and take a look at what's going on as we're coming into our summer market. Okay. So looking at the most recent data coming out of the Real Estate Association here, new listings week over week drop off, but are up overall last year 7.1%. So they go from 1620 down to 1553, but that's higher than last year's 1450. And then we have pending sales dropping off week over week, where last year at the same time it was picking up. So 1087 down by 27, or down to 1027. So that's down by 9%. And then, yeah, inventory of homes continues to go up. So we're up on the 3-month average 15.7%. And I expect that with the trends that we saw there, with the new listings and pending sales to continue to rise. Okay, moving along. I wanted to chat about this one. This is the good news for sellers out there. So although we're seeing inventory rising, which is that opportunity that buyers are going to have for more choices than they've had over the last few years, we still have seen sale prices moving on up. And that's up 4.1% over the same time last year. And then on the 12-month rolling, up 1.5%. But that's better than our last year's 12 months gains, which were relatively flat. So we are seeing that market move upward again. So that's a positive for sellers. But let's take a look at what is happening at that showings per listing. And this is the good news for the buyers. Okay, so showings per listing per week continues to drop off. So this is in the 250 to 500K price point, 5.13 down to 4.84. Even though the total number of showings is still relatively strong. Okay, so we were at 3413 down to 3187. Now you'll see here I put two things side by side, and what that is that's the total number of showings year over year. You can see we're tracking the last few weeks down. Over the first few weeks, we were up of the year. So the overall difference is very nominal. And actually, when you add in some of the other areas, so this is just a sample size of our Twin Cities market, we're pretty neutral overall. 59,514 showings in comparison to last year's 59,715. So basically the same amount of buyers out there in the marketplace. But if we look at that showings per listing, 4.84 in comparison to 6.99, that's putting our market meter quite a bit slower than it was at the same time last year. So we're down to a 5.78. So that's in a stable market range. That's the benefit there to buyers. More opportunity out there, more homes that they can look at, not nearly the competition levels. Are there still multiple offers? Absolutely. You'll run into houses that have that, but there's just more homes that aren't seeing that. We're also seeing the days on market back on the rise as well. So moving over here, yeah, we can see days on market. Got down to 20, that was the low point, and then coming back on up. And then there's that market meter, 5.78. Now, just a little comparison, if you want to see where it was at the same time last year, if we look how we rounded out May, we can see it ended, at a 8.52. So very different market activity levels. So if you were in the market last year and are jumping back in, things should be a lot better for you. Okay, looking at the interest rates. First, the bond market. We've seen a lot of improvement since my last video back in this timeline. Market really actually got back down into the sixes for like a day and then jumped back up into the low sevens. Currently trending back down, so hopefully that holds. We can see the sixes again, but where we left off, rates right around 7.09%. So any positive news could bring us back into the sixes. I've heard that if we get into those mid sixes, it could inject 40% more buyers into the marketplace, which would be a positive for sellers. Okay, so where does this leave us? Well, we're going to kind of see a slower but stable summer. Probably not massive changes, but not as fast as last year. Price point wise, just make sure that you're pricing for the market conditions of where your home is at, not where things were a month ago, but where activity levels are today. That's going to be really important as we are coming out of that spring market to not reach too high, because then you're chasing. It's much better to price where those homes listed versus where those homes in the spring sold, because you might be reaching too far. Hopefully you found this information valuable. As always, if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Have a good one.